Well, hello everyone. So today I have decided to take my creativity outside and enjoy all of the wonders that nature has to offer. The sounds of the natural world, the birds singing, the gentle breeze caressing the leaves on the trees, the bees buzzing, and the melodious beeping of the backhoe reversing with yet another load of dirt as it continues its never-ending quest to dig a new septic system for the restaurant behind my house. Nature. I love it. It's actually the perfect setting to paint without a plan, which is exactly what I'm doing. I am just painting. At this point, there's no direction. I'm purely allowing this painting to lead me to the next idea. And this method of painting may not lead to a masterpiece. It also may not include imagery that is 100% accurate in its form. In fact, it may end up looking like I spent a night doing a variety of hallucinogenic drugs, which, by the way, I have never done. This painting and the process are actually a direct result of being shut in a darkened room with a migraine for the better part of 48 hours, unable to actually sleep deeply, which resulted in vivid dreams of serpents, the line between night and day, and of course the old cliché dream sequence where you realize you're not wearing any pants. Yeah. Between the pain, the dreams, and my brain deciding it would add interest to my life to think of as many 1980s commercial jingles as humanly possible, I think it suffice to say it was a long 48 hours. But sleep deprivation combined with migraine symptoms has always had an interesting effect on my neurological pathways. Who knows? Maybe it does mimic the purging stage of the ayahuasca experience. Probably not. What I do know is that I truly enjoyed just being in the flow regardless of the outcome. It was fun to just play with paint, make decisions as I went, instead of having a concrete idea in mind of a subject, i.e. portrait, animal, backhoe, etc. That backhoe painting is coming though, I'm telling you. It's going to be a masterpiece. Maybe I'll do a bobcat. Maybe I'll do the bobcat animal sitting on top of a backhoe. Now that would be interesting. Something else that I find interesting about this no-plan process is the beauty of what I end up keeping and what I change as the painting evolves. Nothing on the canvas is set in stone from the very beginning all the way to the nearly completed painting. It just continues to develop as I go along. Oh good, here's a brief viewing of my feeding ritual as I wait for paint to dry. God, I look hungover. We have now reached my first major decision in this process, adding a serpent. Just painting the form of a snake without a sketch may seem kind of risky, but evidently, that's how I'm rolling on this fine day. Clearly, the inspiration for this bit of imagery came directly from the previous night's dream, but for the record, I refrained from including any impression of me without pants. You're welcome. It's kind of funny. At this stage, as I watch this footage, I'm wondering if you're thinking the same thing I am, which is, man, this is ugly. If you are thinking that, you're not wrong. And if I were new to painting, I would find this stage pretty discouraging. Fortunately, this is all part of the process. No painting is going to be beautiful at every phase of its development. See, a painting is kind of like an angsty teenager. It goes through an awkward, I'm trying to figure out what I want to be and you just don't understand me stage. And even though it's annoying and might make you feel inadequate as a painter, if you keep going, eventually the beauty will start to emerge. Okay, so here is where I am making yet another decision. A decision to add a human eye. I'm just doing a rough sketch to see if I even want it there, and I'm using a watercolor crayon to do that. So let's briefly talk about the virtues of the humble watercolor crayon. If you want to do a quick freehand sketch on top of dry acrylic paint, these little crayons are a great option because any mistakes or inaccuracies can easily be wiped away with a damp sponge or a cloth. I use them all the time, and because they come in a variety of colors, they show up on virtually any colored surface. So the brand of watercolor crayon that I use is Caran, and I will put a link in the description below if you want to try these beautiful, wonderful watercolor crayons out. So now that we've gotten to this stage, I'm going to shut up for a minute and let myself paint. Will you just look at the back of my hair? Clearly I wasn't planning on filming the back of my head. That is horrendous. I am so ashamed of my disheveled appearance. I apologize to everyone. I can just hear my grandmother's voice from beyond the grave telling me I have a parting like a dog's hind leg. Okay, back to the painting. I was distracted for a minute. Now that I've given the snake a more solid form and added some other components, I've decided I do want the eye in that location, but it's too small. So I'm painting over it with white paint to the size that I want it to be. So I love to paint eyes. Eyes are one of my favorite subjects to paint. And I decided that I wanted this eye to be the real focal point of this piece. Because of this, I'm going to spend more time on this area and make it the most eye-catching part of the painting. That was bad. That was terrible. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna have to stop for today out here because it's getting windy and the canvas is gonna fly off of here if I stay out here. So I'm gonna continue in the studio and hopefully finish this painting up. So I will see you in a few minutes. So now this is starting to look interesting, and I thought I'd add a little bit of nature to the piece since I spent the better part of the day absorbing it from my surroundings. So remember how I said that this was a no-plan process and things change as the painting evolves? Well, here we are, and I'm changing things. I felt there needed to be some water after I added the spur-of-the-moment sun symbol. In addition to this, you'll see that the word subconscious is written underneath the eye, and I ended up not liking that and not keeping it. Another thing that's changing right now is because I added the water and I added the sun symbol, I was like, oh, well, wouldn't it be cool if there was this reflecting pool that was kind of reflecting the moon? So, another addition that happened. So it's time to put the finishing touches on this painting. This was a really fun, free-flowing process, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really like the finished painting, even if it has kind of this surrealism vibe to it. Anyway, I love you all, and I will see you next time. Bye!